G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to 2021. Happy New Year. If you're new here at the channel, one of my big goals for this channel was to try and get it to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2020. And I think we got there on December 29th or December 30th. So thank you so much if you're one of those new subscribers to join here at the channel. We practice yoga here, we focus on strength. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And also like the video just to help the algorithm, and hopefully we can get some more eyes on these videos and some more people excited about the practice of yoga. We have a practice today aimed at really getting some space in the outer hips. So working on some hip openers and also some back bends. So you won't need any props for today's practice. You won't even need a yoga mat. If you have one, fantastic, you can use it, but the floor will work just fine. When you're ready, as always, we'll get right into it. So we'll get started today in Vajrasana, sitting your hips back towards your heels and finding the longest spine you can. If you feel as though the knees start to roll towards each other, using your thumbs to spin your calf muscles away from one another will just allow your thigh bones to remain a little more parallel. Then you'll find a long spine, press your palms down on top of your thighs and just let your eyes close. So to begin, we just want to I guess give the body a chance to understand that it's arrived at the yoga practice. So you be still for a moment, close your eyes, and just look to find a more natural, more calm flow to your breath. Just an even length in and out through your nose. Preparing yourself for the work to come. And take 3 more. A little longer each time. Deep inhale. Long exhale. One more again. Slowly starting to make your way onto hands and knees. So our first introduction to the back bend forward fold combo is the cow cat. So we're going to make our way through that here from your tabletop shape. Let the movement start at your tailbone, so that the tailbone rise up, belly will soften, chest will pull forwards through your straight arms, gaze will rise. Inhale. And as you exhale, tailbone will tuck under, navel center will lift. We'll push through hands to round through upper and middle back, and then draw the chin to chest. And then reset, just 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale to round. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Once we find this cat pose, we'll hold it, hold the rounding, tuck your toes under, hover the knees for a moment. Really push through the hands, grip the mat with fingertips, feel your biceps wrapping forward, and then we'll guide the hips up and back to find downward facing dog. You can absolutely pedal out through your feet if you feel the need, or you can most certainly just stay right where you are. You want to feel the hands pushing the tailbone to send it backwards, the hips getting a little bit higher here. And just to give the legs a chance to wake up here, on the inhale, lift your heels really high. Then as you exhale, bend your knees until they almost touch the mat, letting your hips move back towards your heels slightly. And then straighten the legs back to downward facing dog. And we'll do that 2 more times here. So inhale, heels will lift. Exhale, knees will bend deeply.
We re-straighten. One more time like that. Inhale to rise. Exhale, knees will bend. And we'll come back to downward facing dog. Once we do, inhale to reach your right leg up nice and high. To start with, we'll keep the legs straight. Just roll that hip open. Right toes will face out towards the right hand side of the room. Then we'll lift the right pinky toe higher as we bend into the right knee. And if you can, push to square off through your chest and shoulders. Let your left heel move to the floor just a little more, really lengthening the back of the left leg and opening the inner left thigh. And as you inhale again, left heel will rise nice and high. Exhale, right knee is going to tap the left elbow. So pull your chest forwards. If you can, tap the opposite elbow here. See if they can connect. Then inhale, right leg will reach straight up towards the sky. As you exhale, pull the knee to chest, lift high onto your left toes and place the right foot just inside your right thumb there. Come onto the fingertips, sit deep into your right thigh. Then bend deeply into your left knee. Also, reach your arms up. So finding a double bent leg lunge here with the aim to really tuck under your tailbone and let that left knee move closer to the floor. So front of the hips were starting to lift here, belly's pulling in. Your arms are nice and tall. I apologize if you can hear that dog outside barking, yapping. Hopefully you can't, but we'll see in the edit. Just be here in your lunge. Sit nice and deep. Arms are long and strong. Take an inhale. Hold for the breath out. Then circle hands down towards the mat. Back leg will straighten. Then push your palms down. Pick up your leg. Step back towards a plank. You can take the feet nice and wide here. And if you can, heels spin to left. Chest pulls forwards. Left shoulder stacks on top of the left wrist. We'll reach the right arm up. Instead of hips sagging to the floor, push to lift your left hip away from the floor. So left-side obliques are really starting to contract. And if there's space, right arm can reach forwards. Gaze under your right armpit. Notice we're resting on the outside edge of the left foot here, the inside edge of the right foot, and the inner thighs are squeezing towards each other. Take a breath. And look down. Right hand will ground. We'll roll onto toes and then lower through your cobra pose. So find your way onto the belly. Tops of feet will press down. Inhale, we lift the chest. Squeeze across the shoulder blade. Feel the chest opening. Then exhale, we'll lower back through. Tuck the toes under. Push yourself through a plank. And come back to downward facing dog. So keeping it slow but steady today, and definitely using some strength as well. So take a breath here. Let it out. And then inhale, left leg will rise this time. Hip will start to roll open. We'll bend into the knee and really work to square off through the shoulder. So if you feel that left shoulder starting to pop up, you send your left armpit to the back wall of the room. Send the right heel closer to the floor and the left knee higher. So really working the legs here. Next inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, left knee taps the right elbow. Come forward first. The last moment you twist across the body. Tap. Then inhale, left leg will rise. Exhale, knee to chest. Roll forward and set the foot down. Both knees bend deeply. Back knee stays lifting. Come on up. Find your lunge. Hopefully the dog doesn't try to sabotage me in this lunge. So let your back heel rise really high here so that you can get that knee closer to the floor, and you're really working the psoas line on the front of that back hip here. So it might not be too comfortable, but it's going to really give us some more space in the front of these hips later on. Let your right glute start to firm. Let your arms be long and strong. Take an inhale breath. We'll stay for the out breath. And then back leg will straighten as we lower hands to floor. Work to press palms, pick up foot, step back towards the plank. And lots of space between your feet. Heels are going to spin to right. We don't want the feet to run into each other. Pull the chest forwards, straight line from shoulder down to wrist on the right hand side. Reach that left arm up. Push to lift those hips. Squeeze those thighs together. If there's space, left arm will reach forwards. look under that left armpit. Think about your right side obliques really working to lift those hips higher. Take an inhale. And we look down, roll through plank. This time taking chaturanga, so pausing in the halfway position before untucking the toes as you press to straighten your arms. Taking a full breath there. And then taking it back to downward facing dog. So we're going to do that one more time, just adding on a little bit throughout. So take a breath together first. Let it go. And inhale, right leg will rise. We'll roll the hip open, bend the knee. And then left heel will lift, right knee will tap the back of the left arm. Roll forward, tap. And inhale, right leg will rise high. Exhale, we'll step the foot gently. Both knees bend deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up. Not here for as long this time, so really work stability. Let that left knee move really close to the floor. Take an in-breath. Then exhale, hands to mat. Back leg will straighten along the way. Palms press. We pick up the foot and step back to plank. Just splashing a little more on this time, so both heels spin to left. Right arm will rise. Take an inhale. Then look down to your mat. We're going to lower our right forearm to the mat. Spinning our heels to the opposite side, the right hand side this time. Pull your chest forward, reach your left arm up. So we're in a forearm side plank here on the right hand side. And then look down. Your left forearm is going to meet your right forearm. We'll roll under the toes. So come to a forearm plank, shuffle your elbows closer. And now press your palms to touch, flex your biceps. Walk your feet nice and close. Come towards a dolphin pose. You can stay here, or you could walk your right foot a little closer and reach your left leg up towards the sky. And just be here. Flex those biceps, push away from the floor, draw the chin to chest, look at your right foot. Be there for a count of 5. For 4, keep flexing those left toes. For 3, 2, on 1. Left leg will lower down. We'll walk our feet back. Come towards that forearm plank. Press your heels back. Move your chest forwards. Push away from the floor. Exhale to draw the abs tight. Take a full inhale. And then lower down. Nice work. Tops of feet will put down here. We're going to slide our hands down by the low ribs. Start to float our feet off the mat. Use the strength of the arms to chest forwards a little. Extend your arms back behind you. Now let your palms turn out. Time we can do this side of the car, it'd look really, really weird. So thumbs turn out, they point up. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, lift the legs a little higher, and pull the chin towards the chest. Be here for an inhale. Stop for the breath. And look forward, hands down by the low ribs, tops of feet press down. Inhale, lift, upward facing dog. Exhale will take us back towards downward facing dog. I'm going to tell you, I'm starting to get a little bit sweaty. You don't have to do many poses to work up a sweat. Just moving with control and awareness will really get the body working. So we'll move through our left side now. Inhale, left leg lifts. Hip rolls open, knee bends. You work to elevate that right heel nice and high. Then exhale, left knee taps the right elbow. Come forward. Come across, tap. And inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, place the foot for our final lunge. Both knees bend deeply. Arms start to reach up. Back heel lifting, back knee lowering. Arms are long and strong. Inhale together. Exhale, hands find the mat. Back leg will straighten. We step it back. Finding your last plank pose here. Heels spin to right. Chest moves forward. Left arm will lift. Take a breath. Then look down. Left forearm will lower. Heels spin to left hand side. Right arm will reach up towards the sky. Take a breath. And then right forearm to meet the left, roll under toes, elbows nice and close. Press your palms together, walk your feet forward. So second dolphin pose, you can choose to stay here, flexing biceps, or this time left foot will step closer, right leg will rise. We just be here, square off the hips, let your right toes point down to the earth. Stamp the heel backwards, push through the forearms. Be there for a count of 5, for 4, 3, 2, this time on 1. Right foot will drop down, lower the knees, sit back on top of the heels. Wow. Take a moment just to be here. Look at this, I am sweating profusely. That was awesome, a lot of fun. Give yourself a little chance to slow your breathing down. Now the shoulders may be feeling it. So you're going to work to find a little bit of release. Interlace your hands behind your back here. And if you can, take both of your fists so they rest just above your left hip here. And then squeeze your left elbow in towards your body. And then start to move your left ear over towards your left shoulder. And release through the neck and the side of the arm there. You play with turning your chin towards your left shoulder. Maybe lifting it a fraction. And lowering it back down, just seeing what that little shift does. And rolling head back through center. Take the fists, rest them just above your right hip. Right elbow will hug in. We'll start to drop right ear towards right shoulder. There goes our little yappy friend next door. Sometimes these external distractions just force us to try and move our awareness inward a little more. Well, that's what the yogis teach us when there's annoying yapping dogs outside anyway. Maybe turn your chin towards your right shoulder. Play with lifting it and lowering it back down. Come back through center. Release your arms. Just let them shake out alongside the body. A little bit of blood flowing back towards the fingertips. Give the fingers a little chance to shake. And then we'll take it back to downward facing dog. Long breath together. Open the mouth. Let it out. And then adding on to what we did before. Inhale, right leg will rise. Let your hip roll open, let your knee bend. And then we'll take it to wild thing. So fall to outside edge of left foot. Ground the ball of the right foot behind the left calf. Then pivot to spin the hips and heart open. Balancing on your left hand, reaching the right arm forwards. Really opening up across the front of the body here. Take a full breath. Then look down to the top of the mat. I'm going to ground down the right hand, pivot onto the left toes. Take the right knee to tap the left elbow, and then extend the right leg out to the left-hand side. Dropping your back heel down, start to reach your left arm forwards. Gazing under your left armpit and lifting those hips nice and high. Finding fallen triangle. Long breath in. As you exhale, look down, left hand will ground, roll onto left toes. From here, bring the right knee towards the chest and take it to pigeon pose. So right foot will shuffle over towards the left wrist, and your right hip, or your right heel, should probably line up somewhere around your left hip joint. Then extending your left leg a little further backwards, your torso to lower down. And you may come to the forearms, or you may choose to extend your arms all the way forward and rest your head down. And the reason I will avoid that option today is I just don't want the audio to sound too muffled as I lower my head all the way down here. But if you can find somewhere to rest your forehead and give you a chance to relax the neck a little. And then maybe the mat, maybe your hands, maybe a towel, whatever you've got there. Take a full breath in. And walk your hands back towards your body. You're going to fall off onto the right hip here. Once you do, parallel your right shin with the top edge of your mat, and then swing your left leg out in front of you. You're going to take our left shin in front of the right and just rest your left foot underneath your right knee. So your shins are moving further away from you, and your feet are moving further away from one another. So feet are stacked underneath the knees, shins are working to parallel to the best of your ability right now. Feet will stay flexed. Take our fingertips to the mat just in front of your shins. Lift your chest. Take an inhale. And exhale, walk your hands forward, any capacity. Set your palms down flat. And imagine you are pulling the earth back towards you as you lift your chest. Take an inhale. And exhale, creep those fingers forward just a little more. And do the same again. Pull the earth towards you, lift the chest, breath in. Exhale, fingers creep a little further forward, and then we drop the head. Let your neck really relax, maybe move it from side to side. Give yourself the opportunity for 3 breaths here. We slowly start to make our way back up. Once you do, set your hands just behind your hips for a moment. Pull your shoulder blades back. And then knees will pull to chest. Straighten the legs for just a moment. And then to take yourself back to down dog, cross one ankle over the next. Hug the knees to chest. So you roll forward, ground into the hands. You can take the legs back through chaturanga. Into upward facing dog. And then take it back to our last downward facing dog. Once we get here, inhale, left leg will rise. Hip will roll, knee will bend. If you did on the previous side, take it to wild thing here. Ball of left foot will ground down behind the right calf. Push into that right hand. Spin, hips and heart open. Really let that left arm be heavy. So instead of reaching the arm up, you let it move down so we get a deeper stretch through the left side of this torso here. And looking down, left hand will ground, we'll pivot onto the right toes. Left knee will find the right elbow. We'll extend the left leg out, drop the back heel, reach that right arm forwards, and push to lift the hips. Breathing into the right hand side of the body. Full breath. And look down. Roll onto right toes, pull the left knee to chest, and then set for your pigeon pose. So left heel somewhere around the right hip joint. Left knee just a little wider than everything else on the left-hand side of the body. And you'll extend your right leg back and lower to your variation of the pose. Again, I'm opting for forearms today. That doesn't mean that you have to. You could walk your arms all the way forward and rest your forehead onto the earth. Important to try and find somewhere to perhaps rest the forehead down, just so we're not holding on to any excess tension in the neck that we don't need to be. Just 2 more breaths here. Last one. And as we walk our hands back towards our body, we'll fall off onto the left hip. Parallel that left shin with the top edge of the mat. And then swing your right leg around with the intention of taking right shin in front of the left. You might need to lift and lower your hips back down just so they're nice and even. Working to move the shins away from the body and the feet away from each other. Now, It may feel awkward to try and rest that right heel underneath the left knee. It may not even go there. If it doesn't and the foot's slightly in front, that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Flex the feet, lift the chest. Take a breath. Exhale, we walk the arms forward. Pull the hands towards you, lift the chest, take a breath. Exhale, we walk the arms forward. Allow your head to rest. Allow your eyes to close. Just give yourself the opportunity to breathe. And really working to target the outer hips here, your glutes, your ITB, and even into some of these outer quadriceps. Take one last inhale. As we start to lift up to a seat. This time we're just going to take the hands behind us, extend the legs out long, and give them a little chance to shake out. Now, to finish off, I encourage you to straddle your legs out to a width that's comfortable, not exceptionally wide. Adjust your sitting bones, flex your toes towards you. So you might like to bend your knees if your hamstrings are quite tight here. If you have blocks or rolled up towels, you can pop them underneath. Take your hands in front of your thighs, take an inhale. And exhale, we walk the arms forward. So just like we did before, to a space that you're comfortable with. And then pull the earth towards you, lift the chest, take an inhale. Exhale, walk the arms further forward. Keep those feet flexing. Keep those toes pointing up. Pull the earth towards you, lift the chest. Take a breath. Exhale, we lower. I'm just taking 5 breaths here. Our intention here is just to slow down as we're nearing the end of our practice. So not focusing solely on alignment right now, just allowing yourself to slow down, close off, to prepare our body for stillness. Last in-breath. As you walk your hands back towards you, you may like to use support here. You could use the hands under your knees to draw your legs together. As we work to lower down onto our back, just make sure you have a lot of mat behind you. Interlace your fingers, take them to the back of your head. And as you lower down, just keep your head lifting for a moment, bring the knees to chest. And then set the head down, set the elbows down. Let the knees to fall to the left-hand side of the room. Let them hover just off the earth. And then coming back through center, knees will fall off to the right elbow, hovering just before they hit the earth. And then come back to center. And lift our head off the mat, draw the head towards the knees. Release completely onto the mat. So coming down towards Savasana, let your arms extend. Take one leg out nice and long. Let the toes fall out to either side. And then the other leg. Allowing yourself to settle in. You stay as long as you have. You enjoy the rest. As always, you've worked hard throughout the practice, so it's important to give yourself this chance to be still. You let the video end by itself. As much time as you have, do nothing but be still and breathe. As always, I thank you so much for practicing. I'll see you again soon. Peace.